Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. If you were to hear a false premise again and again until you yourself began to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true. For over time, you come to believe it is true. This is a big topic. This is a huge topic. Belief systems, holy moly. Yeah, like you can get false evidence and then you believe it's true, right? So flawed, they call them flawed premises in the Getting to the Vortex card. So let's pick this apart so we can understand this, for the love of God. Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. So you basically can create whatever you want to believe or see evidence for whatever you want to believe. Like your belief system, that's why there's so many different belief systems. People like two polar opposite belief systems. People can, on each one, totally believe whatever they believe, even though it's completely different and contradictory. And each one of them is getting evidence to support their belief because the universe is giving them that back to them. So here's what it says. If you were to hear a false premise again and again, so affirmations could be anything. So if you hear a false premise again and again, until you yourself began to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect proving the false premise to be true. So I can tell myself something that's false enough times that I actually believe it. Then my vibration will interfere by attracting evidence of my belief. So you can think like, I don't know, trying to think of an example. Like I could think to myself, I'm ugly like all the damn time. Am I ugly? Kind of, but not the ugliest. Anyways, my ugly vibration could attract someone to me that's like, yo, ugly, right? That says something to me, and I'll be like, yeah, there it is. See, he just called me ugly. Like I'm attracting evidence, supporting evidence to support my false premise. But I repeat it every day. You could use this example like in a lot of different ways. Racism, right? They repeat it every day, so then they begin to believe it's true. And that interferes with maybe intelligently, you know, like there's part of your brain that could pipe up and be like, no, you don't hate people, or no, you're not ugly, or no, you shouldn't find your self-worth in that. Do you know what I mean? But no, that becomes, what did they say? It interferes with your sense of intelligence. Then what happens is the universe is just responding to your frequency and your vibration and your point of attraction, and you start to attract evidence of your belief. So if you're like always hating on a group of people, then something happens that says, see, that's why I hate all men. And then that proves the false premise to be true. So you say, see, they all are a bunch of fill in the blanks. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it's true. Yeah, everybody's an a-hole, right? And you're like, see, there. Then you really start to believe it. Then it gets really hard to ever break it or to understand that it's false, because over time you come to believe it's true. So literally, you can believe anything, and then you'll get false evidence that supports it, your false premise. Now that is a vicious cycle. So anyways, wrap your head around that, and then maybe try to take a step back and see what do you have going on that's flawed, and the flawed premise. And then you're like, oh, I just attracted a bunch of unwanted evidence. So that's like a good step into breaking down some of these belief systems that are really not serving you anymore. But it's interesting to understand how it works and how you can kind of get sucked into it and then not be able to see your way out of it.